Welcome to the Nightly Podcast, where we take an honest look at the inner battles many of us face and find hope in the process. I'm Elijah, and today we're talking about something often misunderstood, misused in casual conversation, and yet incredibly real for millions. Obsessive-Compulsive Disorder, or also known as OCD. When you hear OCD, what comes to mind? Maybe someone who's neat and organized, a perfectionist. But OCD is not just about liking clean counters or color-coded planners. At its core, OCD is a mental health disorder marked by obsessions, unwanted intrusive thoughts, and compulsions, repetitive behaviors or mental acts meant to reduce the anxiety those obsessions cause. It's a loop: obsession, anxiety, compulsion, relief. Then the loop resets, and over time, intensifies. OCD is not about being tidy. It's about fear. And the behaviors aren't soothing. They're attempts to prevent something bad from happening. And it's more common than people think, affecting about 2% of the population. That's millions of individuals living with distressing thoughts they can't simply turn off. Allow me to paint you a picture. Imagine waking up and the first thought in your mind is, what if I hurt someone today? Not because you want to, but because your brain latched onto the possibility and won't let go. Or maybe, every time you touch a doorknob, you're convinced you've contaminated yourself or someone else will get sick unless you wash your hands 10 times. Exactly 10 times. If not, the anxiety becomes unbearable. OCD is not always visible. Sometimes the compulsions are internal, repeating phrases in your head, mentally checking if you're a good person, avoiding things that trigger your thoughts. It's not quirky, it's exhausting. OCD isn't just one thing. It shows up in a variety of forms, such as contamination OCD, the fear of germs, illness, or moral impurity; checking OCD, fear of harm if things aren't just right; harm OCD, intrusive violent thoughts towards others or oneself; relationship OCD, constant doubt and anxiety about one's partner; and religious/scrupulosity OCD, characterized by obsessive moral or spiritual fears. Some of the most painful and lonely types of OCD are the ones people are afraid to talk about, because the thoughts are taboo. But thoughts are not intentions. The good news? OCD is treatable. Not curable, but treatable, manageable, and for many, life-changing. The golden standard treatment is ERP, exposure and response prevention, cognitive behavioral therapy, and medication. ERP means facing the fear, exposing yourself to the thought or situation, and not doing the compulsion. CBT helps people identify and change unwanted thoughts and behaviors. And for some, medication, such as SSRIs or selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, can quiet the noise enough to make therapy more effective. Sounds scary, right? But ERP, CBT, and SSRIs work for many people. Over time, you are able to teach your brain to say and know, I can handle this, I don't need the ritual. Living with OCD means learning how to sit with discomfort. It's not about getting rid of the thought, it's about changing your relationship to it. And it takes bravery every single day. For some people, OCD colors almost every part of their lives. For others, it may color brief moments within a day. It is important to understand that someone's OCD is unique to them. If you're listening and you live with OCD, or you think you might, I want you to know this. You're not broken. You are not your thoughts, and you are not alone. If this episode resonated with you, I encourage you to explore resources like the International OCD Foundation, or find a supportive therapist who specializes in OCD and ERP. And if you're someone who wants to better support a loved one, start by listening, without judgment. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Nightly Podcast. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and remember, change as if your life depends on it, because it does.